The following review is intended for entertainment purposes and targeted for adult fans of the series.
Bajilia shows up and chides Ollie for allowing for no. I'll take a sip of coffee. No. No. Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another Power Rangers Cosmic Fury episode review. Before we get started, there is something I want to talk about. First of all, I will say that I hope all of my American viewers had a wonderful Thanksgiving, or Friendsgiving as it may have been. However, that's not what I want to talk about. If you've been around for a while, you may remember the era where I apologized for a series of delayed videos and kept on apologizing to the point that I started getting yelled at by some commenters for apologizing too much, and it even became kind of a running gag. Therefore, I'm not going to apologize here. But I do strongly feel that you are owed an explanation. A few episodes ago, I said that I was putting all of my videos on a strict schedule, including these Cosmic Fury reviews, which I plan to have out every Wednesday.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Really, I'm not sure how I didn't know any better. When has saying I was going on a schedule ever worked out for me? Putting my videos on a schedule is only asking for them to be delayed, and so it was this time. Interestingly enough, I'm not as upset about the reasoning for the delays this time. A lot of it has been me working on allowing myself to relax. I'm watching more of my friends' Twitch streams and watching movies in their Discord servers. I'm playing more video games and not just the ones I'm Let's Playing. I'll have long talks with my roommate. There may even be a new woman in the picture. I work a regular 8 to 5 office job. If I was that strict about making my videos, it would feel like a whole different job. Now, I'm not quitting. I want to make that clear. I have promised to review all of Cosmic Fury, and I want to review all of Cosmic Fury. I'm just learning how to work relaxation into that as well. While Let's Play videos, which I do over on Orange Ranger Plays, pluggo, please subscribe, go on and on from one game to the next and etc. Cosmic Fury not only has a definitive end point, but a rapidly approaching one. My plan at the moment, this is not a schedule, is to kind of batch up on episodes of Sunshine, which I'll be posting twice a week over on that channel, and then in the intervening time, while that catches up to the actual day, working on Cosmic Fury reviews. Finally, I would say, make sure you're taking care of yourselves as well. Whether you're in school or have a regular job, make sure that you carve out a little bit of time for you. Don't let one thing, especially working, be all that encompasses you. Now, I want you to handle your responsibilities. I don't want to see a single parent coming to my comment section telling me that their kid said that Orange Ranger said they don't have to do their homework because they should relax. Handle your responsibilities. Just don't let school or work or making videos or streaming or anything be everything about you. Learn to relax, have fun, socialize. Relax.
Relax, don't do it when you want to go to it.
Alright, now that we've got that said, last time the Rangers finally found Zato and re-added him to the Cosmic Fury team as their new Zenith Ranger, though there are some mysteries surrounding him. Let's see if any of those get solved as we take a look at the 5th episode of Cosmic Fury, Rock Out.
Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel.
Yeah, and make sure you got your notifications set up by hitting that little bell icon.
Right, you. What he said was, you can consider checking us out on Patreon or Coffee at Orange Ranger Videos.
Wow, does this episode get off to a strong start with, of all things, a Buzz Blast report by Jane and Jayborg. The two report that Zed has started setting up prisons across the planet, arresting anyone who resists his takeover. The only part of this that rang a little bit hollow to me was them saying that all of the other Power Rangers teams fighting against Lord Zed lost and were imprisoned.
Man's practicing fuzzy math again.
Listen, I realize that Squid Ink Inc. has their resources, but all of the other Rangers together are an army, a powerful army, pun intended. I know it's a little bit iffy which of those teams do and don't have their powers, but if we're anywhere close to a Legend War situation, I don't even think Lord Zed stands a chance against that. Maybe you factor in the big squid drills and the Rangers aren't able to use their Zords, but even then I find it a little hard to believe. This is a very small thing to point out, but I felt the need to do so because it's the first time for this show that something that I have said very, very strongly as a positive actually came across as a negative. The Rangers discuss how bad things are on Earth, but Zato assures them that teleporting away was the right move because they're still free to fight back. Billy agrees and says their counterattack is going to catch Zed completely off guard. Then Fern goes, "My girlfriend's superhero team are Earth's only hope." Pretty cool.
Move, I'm gay.
I use that clip with love because I adore Izzy and Fern's relationship. This is just the first time where I could grant that those haters that say, "You're always beating us over the head with it," might have a little bit of a point. This is a badly written line. I believe the intention was to more firmly establish a separation between Fern and the Power Rangers, which kind of hints at things coming down the road, but just specifically including girlfriend in that line feels like they're kind of standing there waving their arms about it. You could have just said, "Wow, you guys are Earth's last hope. That's pretty cool." From really good to kind of bad to weird. As the Rangers discuss their plans, they hear metallic banging. Going after the source of the noise, they find Javi drumming on all the pots and pans. And then he starts... It's actually really hard to describe. He calls it metal music, like Screamo, but without any musical accompaniment, it kind of just comes across like a weird a cappella rap. Anyway, he says the situation with Lord Zed sucks, and screaming about it feels pretty good. Metal music calms him down. Hey, some people calm down by doing metal music, some people calm down by playing Dark Souls. Seriously, I have a friend that calms down by playing Dark Souls. Anyway, while most of them say that the music is a little much, Fern says she actually likes it. Having taken drumming classes herself, she knows good rhythm when she hears it. He agrees, saying that he seems to be getting pretty good with this new arm. Mick kind of, quote, tweets a news broadcast to the Rangers. Solon just says that she's getting a transmission from Mick, but he's never seen on screen and it's just the broadcast. Anyway, a reporter or a host or something that's wearing a Space Nebula themed sports coat that I need now is interviewing Bajilia. She announces that they have located a Dragon Zord, no, not that one, on the planet that they're mining, and once they get it free, their evil Ranger Ollie will be able to pilot it and make Lord Zed's army even stronger.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
The Rangers discuss the situation. Billy points out that he did see 11 animal symbols on that Zord altar, and one of them was a dragon. That means this isn't just a Zord, this is a Cosmic Fury Zord. Amelia points out that this definitely smells like a trap laid by Ollie to draw them out. But Zato says it's worth the risk to get the Zord. If he were able to get to the Zord undetected, he might be able to use the Master Staff to activate it. The Rangers say that's a pretty big maybe, but agree that it's worth taking a shot on. But how to get Zato there undetected? Hobby starts drumming again to help himself think, and Izzy points out it's doing exactly the opposite for her. It's really distracting. Hobby realizes that's exactly what they need. A distraction. And welcome to another edition of Orange Ranger only mentioning tiny plot details when they become relevant. The host tagged out of his interview with Vigilia, saying that next he was going to be interviewing a monster metal band that would be performing at the dig site. So, the digging crew is into metal.
Oh, well, gosh darn, ain't that convenient.
Hobby suggests that they form their own monster metal band, using some of Solon's abandoned arts and crafts projects as disguises. Ion points out a small problem with this plan. If Ollie does realize that the band are the Rangers, he'll do a quick little count, realize there's only 4, somebody's missing, and make to go protect the Zord. The solution to that problem is Fern, who is able to drum just as well as Hobby can. Of course, everyone is completely on board with this plan, except for Izzy, who puts her foot down on it. But this time, Fern steps on Izzy's foot. Metaphorically, anyway. The team needs her for this plan to work, and besides, the Rangers will be right there to keep her safe. Izzy reluctantly agrees. We head over to the ringed planet Akral, currently a Squid Ink Inc. mining colony.
Presented by Zaya.
I just had to do it. The Rangers arrive in monster costumes, with Ion reminding them to only use monster voices when they're in the dig site, and Izzy telling Fern not to talk at all. I kind of get that, so that Ollie wouldn't recognize Fern's voice, but I mean, they're all going to be using disguised voices, so... Anyway, as they approach the gate, Hobby realizes that their band kinda needs a name. And he realizes this too late as they immediately step to the gate and the guards ask them to identify themselves. We are Sex Bombs! Hobby says they are Meat Chrome. Meat Chrome. Nice job, Hobby. Vigilia invited them to play a concert for the workers since they found a Zord. Excited at the idea that Vigilia would ever give them a treat, this works and they're let inside. They set up a stage, and let me tell you something right now. Izzy is wearing a skull mask, and her hair is all brushed out and long and flowy, and she has these dark feathers. And when she crouched down and was like, "This song is for you," I felt a certain kind of way, okay? Y'all, this is the most ridiculous, silly premise for an episode. But yet, freaking again, Power Rangers comes up with amazing, original music. Listen, the lyrics to this song are far from Shakespeare. But were we expecting Power Rangers to give us a metal song that was even close to listenable? This song is actually really good. Izzy has an amazing, grunty, screamo type voice. And by the way, Ion's instrument is a buzzsaw he's hitting against metal. That's metal AF! In a tent nearby, where we see the eye of the Dragon Zord peeking out from the side of the mountain, we see the first signs of Ollie beginning to think for himself in evil. He's irritated that Vigilia felt the need to go on the news and announce the Dragon Zord finding, because now the Power Rangers are going to be coming. But he says he has a little surprise for them if they do. A monster comes in and asks for permission to go to the free concert Vigilia is treating the workers with, and Ollie realizes that Vigilia treating the workers to anything doesn't sound like her. You know the funny thing about the Rangers making a point to realize that there needed to be 5 of them, otherwise Ollie would realize one of the Rangers was going after the Zord? There being 5 of them is exactly what blows this jig up. Ollie runs out, sees the band, counts 5 of them, and goes, "Those are the Rangers." He pulls Izzy's skull mask up, and y'all are just gonna have to pardon me for another moment. Beneath the mask, Izzy's face is not entirely painted, but kind of like shadowed white. Her jaw is painted to be the lower jaw of the mask, and she's wearing heavy black eyeshadow around her eyes. Ollie morphs and reveals that Scrozzle has stayed busy, giving him a new weapon very similar to the Rangers, a Tricera blaster. Izzy teases him about this at first. Honestly, I think she was the only one of the Ranger actors on the stage. Everyone else stays in their monster gear. But when he starts blasting, she yells to Fern by name to get down. "Hey, Izzy, you were just telling Fern not to talk, just in case Ollie might recognize her voice. Could you maybe think about trying not to scream her name?" The other Ranger actors make their way to the stage, and the 4 Rangers morph. A really cute thing about this is when they say "Cosmic Fury Power," they all hold their weapons like guitars and strike kind of a rock band pose, and confetti erupts from somewhere. The Rangers have a nice fight scene, and Amelia actually gives way to the plot and lets Izzy fight Ollie this time. The two have a very cute fight where Ollie can't hit her because she's just too dang fast. However, Fern is basically love-struck watching Izzy, and Ollie notices her just peeking over a box. He thinks this must be Zato, mainly because she's still wearing a mask, and dodges Izzy to leap over there. He reveals Fern, really just more frustrated that it's not Zato, but still takes some shots at her, which I found kind of surprisingly dark. A Ranger, even an evil Ranger, shooting at a civilian point blank. Ollie puts together where Zato must be and runs for the Zord, but Zato says it's too late. He teleports into the cockpit, yep, definitely one of ours, and activates the Zord. In another edition of not mentioning things until they're relevant theater, Ollie had been holding this small metallic disc and kind of flipping it like a coin. Now he throws it at the Zord and it sticks magnetically. Bajilia shows up and chides Ollie for tying Scrozzle up, which doesn't really make any sense, but what makes even less sense is the idea that rope would hold a robot like Scrozzle, but he in turn mocks her for allowing the Rangers to get the Dragon Zord. She tells 2 copy guards to intercept the Zord near the planet's moon, and she'll take care of the rest in her squid drill. 2 giant copy guards intercept Zato on the moon. Close enough, I guess. And Zato shows off some fiery attacks, then calling the other Rangers for help. They say they still need to clear the decks, but interestingly enough, they don't have to destroy the Sentinels and monster robots around. Instead, they... Izzy checks on Fern, who says she's definitely gonna need some stitches for the hole in her sleeve. Amelia says, "Hey, focus, Zato, remember?" And Fern asks if she gets another Zord ride. Have I taken too long to review this show? I don't remember Fern riding in a Zord before. She got teleported into the ship and kind of rode in the ship when it teleported, but it's kind of been a point of the show that Izzy hasn't let Fern come on missions until now. You can tell me if I'm wrong about this in the comments. Lion, Chameleon, Phoenix, Mantis, Dragon. I'm keeping track now, Cosmic Fury. Zato uses the dragon to coil around one of the copy guards and squeeze it until it explodes. Then he flies at the other one and blows it up with a charged up attack. Not even a Megazord needed. Another short Zord fight, but a good show off for the dragon. Oh right, we've forgotten about Bajilia, who shows up in her own squid drill in battle mode. However, this is when the other Rangers show up with Amelia in the Lion, Izzy in the Chameleon with Fern, Ion in the Mantis, and Javi in the Pink Phoenix. Hey now, black and pink are a great color combination. In fact, there's a Korean girl group whose name is Blackpink, and I'm going to go ahead and call this a reference. Blackpink! Alright, fair warning. This take is completely ad-libbed. I'm adding it to the script after noticing something. When I looked at the script, I saw something I wanted to make sure that I was right on, and I caught something that I didn't originally, and I'm not happy about it. You might remember in that previous take, I said I was keeping track. Lion, Chameleon, Phoenix, Mantis. Those 4 Zords were summoned. When the Rangers show up, they actually show up in the Cosmic Fury Megazord. I realized they had brought 4 Zords, but formed the Megazord, which requires 5, so one of those Zords was remote summoned. That was actually the Orange Scorpion Zord. Again, this part is fine. If a Zord shows up that they didn't summon straight out, I can understand that they just piloted it there remotely. That's fine. The thing is, when I checked on Ranger Wikia to check my facts on this, they said that Ion was in the Shark Zord, not the Mantis Zord. I looked back at the episode, and he is indeed in the Shark Zord, the Swordfish Zord, if you will. Yet again, that's not the Zord they summoned for him. They brought the Mantis Zord out of the portal, and the Mantis Zord is not seen. We have yet another friggin' episode of this show where they can't keep the Zords straight.
Okay, dude, calm down. Take a chill pill.
Do you want me to shove the Swordfish Zord? You know what? I'm sorry. I'll calm down. Fern can't believe she's going to be in a Megazord fight and asks Izzy what she should do. Izzy says, don't touch anything.
Don't touch it.
So, of course, Fern moves back and accidentally smacks a button, which remotely summons the Wolf Zord. Oops. But the Wolf Zord gets in some good hits, so nice job, Fern. Combo finisher attack. Zato says Cosmic Dragon Megazord when it's just Cosmic Dragon Zord, but I mean, they can't even keep the Zord straight, so what am I expecting? This is a very minor thing to notice, and I only noticed it because Fern actually has a really big, pretty smile. But she starts saying her line with the screen split 4 ways on the Zord cockpits, and then we get kind of a cut zoom to Izzy's cockpit on screen by itself, and she starts saying the line over again. Not in audio, basically you see her start to say it on the split screen, and then on the zoomed in screen she actually says it. Anyway, they all head home singing the metal song. When they get back, Izzy still isn't thrilled that Fern was in danger, but hey, everything worked out. Billy and Solon have news. They have the ship ready for its final engine test. The Rangers are thrilled that this was done so quickly, but the two have to admit that they were spurred to faster action by a message from Earth. The message is from Tarek, who does share one bit of good news. Amelia's mother, Santora, is ready to give birth any day now to Amelia's little sister. But then the bad news. The Garcias have been imprisoned. As far as Tarek knows, they're not in any immediate danger, but that could change at any time. He realizes that the Rangers must know about the anti-Zord force field, and that's why they haven't returned to Earth, calling that smart. Of course, the Rangers still as yet aren't capable of returning to Earth, but we don't need to let Tarek know about that right now. He and the Rafconians, which is how he put it, but really that's just the Rafconians, have formed a resistance, and they have a plan. The resistance has learned that the anti-Zord force field is projected in part by every squidrill hovering over Earth. So, if you take out just one squidrill, the entire field will collapse. The resistance has a plan to do just that, but they are going to need the Rangers to return and help. So, sounds like it's time to test those engines, huh? Over on Eltar, Zed is reading his troops the riot act. Even Squillia is there, which even Lord Zed is confused about. She says that she came to get some selfies with the new Dragon Zord, which she must have just assumed they had captured and brought back to Eltar, because her new crush said that she'd look so cute with it. Bajilia is shocked that her daughter has a crush that she doesn't know about. So she shows her some pictures, and the episode cheekily downplays this, but I cannot. It's Heckle. From Dino Charge, it's freaking Heckle. Zed tells them to find the Rangers, but then Ollie enters with a new friend, saying he's already done that. As you may have guessed, that small metallic disc was a tracker, and Ollie now knows that the Rangers are on Eridus. So Ollie picked up Joe Zodek, an expert on Eridus. He says it's home to scuttleworms, and Scrozzle, not liking creepy crawlers, and Squillia, finding this whole thing boring, leave. And nothing of value was lost. Listen, y'all know that I love Scrozzle, but he's been given remarkably little to do on screen this year. Joe Zodek says that the scuttleworms ate his hunting bots and he wants revenge. Bajilia says she wants revenge because she really genuinely believes that the Dragon Zord is her property and the Rangers stole it. Zed sends all 4 of them to Eridus, and the hunt has begun. And to address it here, Joe Zodek, whose name itself may be a play on Tiger King's Joe Exotic, is once again a Juoger villain, Mega Beast Hunter Bangray. And I don't really have a great segue from that, so let's gaze at the stars. Episode 5, Rock Out. Prose, surprisingly fun is a massive understatement, another example of great original music, and some serious story tones. Cons, Hobby's arm, underused characters like Scrozzle, and I'm getting real pissed off about the Zords. A goofy, silly episode about the Rangers being metal rockers to get a Zord. I loved every second of it. Rock Out gets 4 stars out of 5. This is kind of starting with the overall conclusion, but I adored this episode. I didn't expect to. The premise was ridiculous, and I didn't even realize this was going to be about metal, one of my favorite genres. I thought they were going for more traditional rock. Maybe what Cosmic Fury needed was to stop taking itself so seriously. They took a breath, had some fun, and that breath was full of fresh air. How does this show keep putting out bangers for original music? None of it is going to win a Grammy, but they've done rock, they've done country, now they've done metal, and the songs are fantastic. I love, or hate, The Emperor of Evil is a good metal song. Props to Tessa Rao for a fantastic performance doing it. Grunge rocker girls? Kinda my thing, you might have picked up on. And as lighthearted as the main plot was, it's counterbalanced by really serious stuff happening on Earth. People being thrown in prisons, a resistance forming without any of the Power Rangers being able to help. My only complaint there is we really haven't seen enough of the bad times on Earth. Even in this episode, we only saw like 2 people get arrested, and that's really just like they were being dragged into a convention center. But hey, it is still a welcome, serious turn from the villain side of the story. And now we've reached a point in this particular arc that I was concerned about. Any sense of the trauma of Javi's lost arm is gone. He can drum with it now! I grant you we don't really know the time scale of things. I will say they did give us a little bit of that by saying Amelia's mother is about to give birth. She was pretty far along at the end of Dino Fury Second Era, so even then you're really only saying an additional month or two, and those events happened back to back from Dino Fury Second Era to Cosmic Fury, but I cannot say it strongly enough. I feel like we needed to see Javi deal with some real serious trauma from losing his arm. I get it's a kid's show, but still something like a nightmare or like a good dream in this case, where he does have his normal arm and everything's fine. It's kind of Evil Dead, but ratchet it back a little bit, and then he wakes up and finds this cold metallic thing hanging from his shoulder. In the end, it turned out to be just as flat an arc as I was expecting. I landed on this con right at the end of the episode, but I think Cosmic Fury has too many characters because characters like Scrozzle are criminally underused. Scrozzle was a scene stealer, the old razzmatazz. Lately, he shows up, whines a little bit, leaves, and then we're told by another character that he developed something off screen. Then you have characters like Squillia, who has absolutely no reason to exist. Remember, other than the Zords, it's original footage this time around. You don't have to justify characters that appear in the stock footage. It's entirely up to you this time. And now another ad-lib Zord take. This con was originally about Fern and how it felt like they were dragging their feet to get to the big thing that's going to be happening with her, but then I kind of came to the conclusion that it's happening right about where I would expect it to in a 10-episode season, and maybe I was just being impatient and looking for a con. Then the thing happened with the Zords, which also changed the episode score. I was going to give this episode a 4.5. I deducted half a point because I'm getting friggin' sick of this. It is not that difficult to correlate what Zords are in an episode. And yet again, we had this in a previous episode, you're shooting yourself in the foot by showing us summoning footage that just exists to stretch out the episode, and then having different Zords included in the Megazord formation. It is lazy, and it makes it look like you really don't care about the Zords, which have been a core part of this franchise from the very beginning. You're having to keep track of, at most, at this point, 6 Zords at a time. Keep them straight. But again, taking a breath from the Zords, I was really impressed with this episode. It was far, far better than I was expecting it to be. You may have been shocked to see the score of this episode, but I really did consider this the best episode of Cosmic Fury thus far. I didn't even mention the Dragon Zord being really cool and purple and agile and really just a strong Zord debut in the pros because there was other stuff to talk about. I did mention that something major is coming up with Fern, and that is happening in the next episode. So, let's take a peek at the 6th episode of Cosmic Fury, Take Off. Solon disappears just as the Rangers prepare to fly their ship back to Earth. But they have bigger problems. Ollie has located them on Eridus. I am chomping at the bit for the next episode. I do not think you realize how excited I am about what happens next time. But all things in their due time. For now, that's going to do it for another Power Rangers Cosmic Fury episode review. Thank you, heroes, so much, as always, for watching, and for your patience in delays with these episodes coming out. I'd really appreciate it if down below the video you click that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed so you see all of my videos and see these reviews whenever they come out. Leave a comment below what you thought about this episode. I'll even repeat what the bot said about make sure to check me out on Patreon and Ko-fi. You know, subscribe and tell your friends and notifications, all of that good stuff. Once again, for my American viewers and even viewers in other countries that happen to celebrate, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. I will say that I hope all of you, especially my American viewers, all of the other Power Rangers teams fighting against the teams. Anyway, he says that screaming about Lord Zed, Mick kind of quote tweets something to the Rangers, Solon, and honestly, I think she's the only one of the Ranger actors on stage. Everyone else stays in their monster gear. Rude. Izzy teases him about this at first. That doesn't really make any sense, although it doesn't make makes less sense that Rope would, you know what? Izzy in the Chameleon with Fern. Ion, son of a... You see, in that earlier paragraph, I did point out Lion, Chameleon, Mantis, and the other one. Billy and Solon also have Rock Out gets a 4 out of 5. You don't have to justify these characters existing. Wait. You do have to justify these characters existing. Maybe I'm just anticipating it, so I was stretching for...